What's up guys, my name is Julie. Welcome back to the Curated Curvy, where I bring you along for the journey as I attempt to create the curated wardrobe of my dreams with these two hands. And today I have for you all a recent mix video. The first thing that I want to show you are these little shorts that I came up with, and I'm calling these my babe shorts. So basically it's a swing style short. It has a 2-inch elastic waistband, and then it has a curved hem that swings upward towards the hips and swoops down towards like the inseam. They're a little bit on the hoochie side of things. If you know, then you know. But for these hot Texas summer days, this is definitely what I want to be running and playing in. So I have now 3 pairs of these shorts because I've been working on testing the pattern to see if it is something that I could possibly bring to market one day. So I have this pair, which goes with the top, which I'll talk about in one second. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but this purple pair I am wearing, this is out of a cotton lawn that I was gifted as a part of the Minerva Ambassador program, maybe like 2 years ago when I was still participating in that. This is from a thrifted bed sheet. And then I have this pair in a stretch denim in this really fun cherry print. And like I said, I'm testing it out to see if it's something that I can actually bring to market. So I wanted to try the pattern and multiple weights of fabric. So this is a stiffer denim. This is a stiffer denim. This is a lightweight cotton bed sheet. And then this is a lawn that's a little bit more floaty but has slightly more structure than the bed sheet. As I mentioned, these shorts are actually a part of a set. So when I made this, I made it on a whim. I was really inspired by the Ganni tops that have been, wildly popular, the little tie front tops. Although I will say I made this top almost 2-3 years ago at this point. So I've very much always been into tie front tops. I just love the ease of it. But the Ganni top is a certain style of top that I was really interested in. However, after having tried a pattern of that nature, and I'll show you that in a second, I just kind of realized like that silhouette, like the peplum silhouette, just doesn't work well for me. So I went back to the drawing board and I drafted something that I knew would work for me. It's essentially a V-neck blouse that has a slit down the middle, all the seam allowance taken out, a tie front. It has a puffy sleeve, so it's gathered on the top, but it's just allowed to hang loosely on the bottom. And I feel like this just makes it better for like airflow, breezy, like you want to catch the wind when it's hot. And I think a top like this is ideal. The one that I'm wearing now, like I said, this is years old. It has the elastic cuffing around here, and that can get a little bit irritable when you're out in the sun for a while. So I definitely wanted something with a looser sleeve. So that is another thing that I made recently. I also have a video on this. I will link it in the description box below. Okay, next is Simplicity 9708. This is actually, it's done, but it's not done. It needs the buttons on the button placket and on the sleeve. But apart from that, it is done. This is my second time making this, and I really enjoy the ease of this pattern. It is a relatively quick sew. The collar is not sewn on with a collar stand. So that takes a little bit of the trickiness out of actually sewing the collar. It's an oversized fit. If I'm being honest, I feel like it could be a little bit more oversized. There's not much to it in terms of description, but like I said, it's a really easy sew, and it's very satisfying to make if you want something like a button-down blouse, but you don't want to get into all of the tailoring techniques that traditionally come with sewing a button-down blouse, which is why I am more drawn to this pattern than other patterns. 90% done. Just need to add the buttons and the button placket. This is done out of a textured linen. I'll see if the camera will pick up some of that texture, but this is a textured linen that I picked up from Joann's a little while ago. I sewed a Vicky Sews uni dress using the same fabric, and this was the leftover remnants, and the pattern calls for 2 3/8 of a yard, and I probably had like maybe like 1 3/4 of a yard left over, and I was able to squeeze it out. I had to make some slight modifications. I shortened the sleeve slightly, which was fine because the original sleeve came up kind of long on me. And then the under collar is faced in just a plain white linen that I had in my stash, and the cuff is also done in a plain white linen that I had in my stash. When you hold it up, you really can't tell. I mean, I know because I'm looking for those discrepancies, but I think to the naked eye, it'll be just fine. Okay, next I have 2 rompers and 1 jumpsuit to show you, and these are all from a self-drafted pattern by myself. This I'm calling the Jalen jumpsuit and romper, and let's get into it. So this is the romper version. It's a boat neck style neckline, sleeveless. a drop back, and it has a tie around the waist for cinching. I came up with this because I really love the idea of like a linen jumpsuit for the summer. I wanted something that was easy to construct and easy to wear. I find that the more complicated the project is sometimes for me, the more I don't want to make it again and the less I wear it, because for some reason my mind computes that I put all of this work into this thing and now it's precious. So I wanted to take all of the fussiness out of the pattern, and I do feel like I achieved that with this. It is very, very short, but I like it that way. The next one I did in a black linen. That was in a brown hopsack linen from Joann. So if you're familiar with that line of linen from Joann's, it's a heavier weight linen, has a lot more like drape to it and structure. This is a cotton linen from Hobby Lobby that I picked up quite some time ago. I think I had 2 yards and it was just enough to get this out of. Now with this one, I wanted to test around the waist height in the back. So it has the same features. It has the boat neckline, sleeveless, but instead of putting the tie in the back, I put a channel for an elastic in the back, and I like the look that it gives because it gives you that naturally cinched in waist. However, I feel like because the shorts are so short, having the cinched in waist like this, it kind of causes the shorts to ride up. So like I can feel air touching my butt, and my butt may not be exposed, but it's exposed to the air, and that's enough for me. I find myself not wearing this out as much, and this was the reason that I kind of tabled working on this pattern for now, because if I do go with the elastic channel in the back, then I would have to play around with the length. And at this point of tweaking the pattern, I was just kind of over it. Now I have one more to show you, and that is the long version. So this is my super fun version of this jumpsuit. Absolutely adore this. This is in a rayon that I had in my stash from quite some time ago. I actually made another jumpsuit in the same fabric on this channel quite a while ago. I'll try and find that video and link it in the description box below if you're interested. This was my first version of it. This was how it was always intended to be, which is just like a long, like about ankle length jumpsuit, wide legs, super floaty, super fun, has the ties, boat neckline, drop back, sleeveless. The issue that I had with this is my boat neckline has somehow turned into a cow neckline. There was an issue with myself on the drafting end of things to where when I created the boat neckline, I took too much out of the shoulders. So now when I pull it up, it kind of gives a cow neck effect, but it's still really, really cute and definitely still my favorite out of the three. Okay, next I had the pleated McCall skirt that I made, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not feeling it. There's a number of reasons why. One, the front and the back are exactly the same. And I think a pattern like that works if you're straight up and down. But my front is not shaped like my back. And so I feel like there needs to be an adjustment there to accommodate for the difference in width. And it's just not when you have like two of the same panels. Also, the zipper insertion is quite horrific. Yeah, it's pretty bad. After doing it, I mean, look at how it's lining up there. That's kind of ratchet, you know? But yeah, I thought I was gonna get it. I did not get it. So I mean, I don't like it. I think the pattern is super easy to make. It came together with no problem at all. Like I said, I just think that's something when it's the same panel in the front and the back, that typically doesn't work for me because there needs to be an accommodation for the amount of width that my back has versus the front. I think I'm saying that right. So I don't like it. I can't really part with it because it's like I want to make it work. For so long I've wanted a pleated mini skirt, and now I have one, and it's just, I keep telling myself maybe I can style it in a certain way that works for me, but the issue really is the fit of it all. And so I will be destashing this. I am preparing to have an Etsy shop where I have all of my things listed that aren't staying in my closet anymore. So be on the lookout for that once it's available. It'll either be on Etsy or it'll be on my website, but once that's available and up and running, I will make sure to include the link in the description box. And this will definitely be on there. Next, I have the Thrills and Stitches Poppy Blouse, which I was so very excited about sewing. When she dropped this pattern, I knew immediately that I wanted to sew it up. And as soon as I came across a fabric that I felt like with work and some time, I went ahead and I did so. And it is done in its completion. This is what I was talking about when I said that this is more true to that style of the Ghani top that is going around on the internet that everyone's going crazy for. It has like a very high waistline, like it sits kind of at your bust, and then it has that peplum with the ties down the middle. The construction of this top is absolutely beautiful. I played around with the binding in a way that complements the outer fabric. This fabric was actually made from a tablecloth that I found at the thrift store, and I left the little Crate and Barrel label inside of the garment. I just thought that was like a really fun touch, so that wherever this ends up, when somebody finds it, they'll be probably pretty perplexed about it. But it was made from a tablecloth. It was really a scrappy project. It was really, really fun to make. I thoroughly enjoyed sewing it. However, this style just does not suit me. I can't get it to work in my wardrobe as is. The peplum sits a little too high up on the bust for me in a manner that I don't find flattering for my body type. And then it's also a bit too long because I like to wear everything pretty high-waisted. Like this is my natural waist here and my shorts are sitting like right on my waist, and that's just kind of how I prefer things. So when something drops below that, I feel like it breaks up the lines that I'm trying to create in an outfit, and it just doesn't flatter me. So this will also be destashed. Next, I have what I am calling my Juliet vest. This is a self-drafted vest. I think I showed you this vest before in my last sewn video. I was sewing it for a craft fair, for when I was going through the craft fair season, and I just made one up in this gorgeous quilted fabric that I have. The fabric is not vintage, but it's made to look like it's vintage. I picked up some binding, or not some binding, I picked up some quilting cotton from a local fabric shop, and I used that to bind all of the seams. I regret that because I feel like it took a really, really long time, and the juice wasn't worth the squeeze in the end. But I did it. I was hoping when I did it that it would be fully reversible, but ultimately I didn't have enough of this binding, and I just don't like the way the different color bindings look, like particularly the one down here and the one here. So it looks like it's the inside of a garment, and if I wear it in the reverse, it just doesn't look like it's meant to be worn that way. Okay, this is a vintage McCall's pattern. I talked about this shirt on one of my plans videos quite a while back now, and yeah, I just wanted to sew up a cow neck blouse and see the construction and what it was like, and I love this thing. There's so much about this that is so different to anything in my closet, and I think that's why I am so drawn to it. Just like the simplicity of the design, the silhouette, it just really speaks to me. Super feminine, but super pared back. Really easy construction. Came together in practically no time at all. It has a straight fitted sleeve, no gathering, which is always a challenge for me, but I think I did a pretty good job. Has a cow neck finished in the back. The back also has like a long kind of like boat neck, and then it's finished with a facing. It's so simple, so easy. I think the construction on this was done really, really nicely. Really enjoy this one. I mean, there's not much to say about it. It's a super simple top, super simple silhouette, but I feel like you get a lot of bang for your buck in this, and I have plans to sew more. I don't know if I'll get around to it anytime soon because there are other things on my mind that are like more immediate that I really want to sew for summer. But this is definitely a pattern that I know eventually I will find my way back to. Okay, next I have my tried and true Vogue. I think it's like 1871, 1781 shorts. I have made millions of these shorts. If you have been following me for any length of time, then you have probably seen a pair of these shorts. Lots and lots and lots of these shorts. It also has that thick 2-inch waistband that I absolutely love. These shorts have inseam pockets. It is done in a mystery fabric. I have no idea what fabric this is. I picked it up at a fabric swap that I attended about 2 years ago at this point, and it was just like all of the bolts were laid out on the table. You could pick them up. They had a price. You bought them, cash only type of thing, and it was like a destashing, I believe, for American Sewing Guild, their Plano chapter. And I bought this. Have no idea what it is. It is definitely a polyester or a synthetic because I did the burn test and she melted. But that being said, this fabric is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It is floaty. It's light, but it's dense. It's not like this is light, but it's light. This is light, but it's dense. Like there's some weight, there's some body to it. It doesn't wrinkle. Like it doesn't wrinkle. I'm being super dramatic on camera, but like it doesn't wrinkle. So like I can take it out the wash, I can throw it, and it's just like when it's ready to wear, it just falls on my body like a gift from heaven. It is gorgeous. I made this as a part of a set. Go with this top. This was my first Vogue 9708, the first one that I sewed up when I realized that this pattern was not only beautiful but incredibly easy to make. I sized on this pattern 2 sizes up than what I usually size with my big 4 patterns. I always sew in a size 18. I sewed this in a size 24, and it does not give incredibly oversized. Like I can't imagine what this will look like if I actually sewed it in a size 18. It probably just looked like a fitted button down, which is definitely not what I was going for. That being said, I still enjoy the pattern. I've already made it again, as you saw, so I have no qualms with that. It's just one of those things that if you do plan on sewing this and you are going for an oversized look, size up at least 2 sizes. at least 2. In one of my more recent videos, I went through the process of attempting to create this swimwear suit situation, and I came out with this skirt, or skort, and a top that I can't find. The skort was inspired by the Twill Skort, which is a product of Bo Galati's via Popflex, and it's really cute. It's just like a little circle skirt, and then underneath it are a little pair of biker shorts. Now this is meant to be worn to the pool, in the pool, on the side of the pool, because I don't like wearing bathing suits like that. And so went through the process of making this. Like I said, there was a whole video on the construction of this and how I came about doing it, so that if you want to recreate it for yourself, you can. Okay, this is the last thing that I want to show you, and this is the tote bag. I don't know if the pattern company is called Rosie Rowe or Rosie Cladwell. Whatever the case may be, I'll put it up on the screen. She's also a YouTuber. Love her patterns, love her designs. This is her tote bag, and basically it's a giant tote bag. It has 2 straps. So it has this strap, and then it has the little baby strap. But the fun part about it is it also has like this drawstring up here to keep it closed. So then you can open it up and stuff it with all the stuff, or you can pull it shut and have it nice and tall. And this is the bag. I made it out of the same quilting cotton that I made that vest out of that I showed you, and then the fabric for the drawstring and also the lining is this brown pinstripe seersucker that I had in my stash for a while, and I actually was really sad to use it for this bag, but I've been trying to use from my stash and not buy new. If you've been on my channel, you know that this is the year of the low buy, so we are using what we have and not bringing in more stuff that we don't have the space to keep. So I was pairing different fabrics with it, and this fabric looked the best. And even looking at it in the camera now, I definitely know that I made the right choice. The construction of this bag is relatively simple, not a lot of fuss. Even creating the drawstrings, everything went pretty seamlessly, a pretty smooth sewing experience. For the drawstring, I had some leather cording in my stash that I'm pretty sure I got from Joann's at some point in my sewing life, and I went ahead and I used that, and I think it just gives it like a nice clean finish look. One of the things that I did change about the pattern is that the pattern doesn't call for pockets inside except for like one small pocket. So I went ahead and I put pockets on this side of the bag. So I have a large pocket here, and then I have a pocket that perfectly fits my phone right next to it that I can slip my phone into. Love that. I also created a false bottom for the bag, which is this. A false bottom is basically just a piece of cardboard, and then I got some knit fabric. I sewed a tube, I slid the cardboard into the tube, and then that goes onto the bottom of the bag, because I'll show you. Right now there's nothing in it, but you can see without the false bottom, the bag kind of wants to do this. It's hanging, it's not holding its structure. So you can imagine once I start adding things to it, it's going to start pulling down in that manner. However, as you can see with the false bottom, you just have a nice like flat bottom, and as you begin to add things, it's going to hold the shape of the bag. It's not going to droop and create that kind of like U shape down there, but rather stay really angular and really square. It's also going to support the bottom of the bag so that you're not putting a lot of weight and a lot of pressure on the bottom of the bag, especially since due to the size of this bag, this will most likely be like a week hander bag. This will be something that I take when I'm going on quick trips with the family, so it's usually going to have a lot of stuff in it when it is being used. I really do adore this pattern. Again, it's one of those patterns I don't think I'll make another one of just yet. I don't think I need more, but come gifting season, this will definitely be one of those things that I make and I give to people, because it's just a really easy sew, really satisfying, really fun to make. Glad I got to use some of this quilting fabric. I actually have a little bit more of this left, and I want to see if I can make one of those garment duffel bags. I don't know if you've seen them, but basically like they open up into a garment bag, but then they can be like zipped up in a way that turns them into a duffel bag. So I recently purchased a pattern for one of those, and I want to see if I can use what's left on this bolt to get one of those bags out. If I could, that'd be like super cool, because that would be 3 really cool things that I got from one bolt of fabric without buying anything new. That was a lot of talking. I definitely need some coffee now. Thank you so much for staying until this point in the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What are you making right now? Have you tried any of these patterns? I'm interested to know. Also, what are you sewing this summer? Like I said, what are you making right now? Because I'm kind of like at the point where I'm getting really into self-drafting, and it's creating like tunnel vision to where like all I can see are the visions in my head, and I'm not really checking for new patterns like that, but I want to sew some new patterns. Like, have you guys seen the latest drops? What do you think about those patterns? I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna let you go. Until next time, stay beautiful, make great things. I'll talk to you later. Bye.